Once again, touch the leg to every one of you. So earlier, just the brief about the history of the Drikung 𝐾𝐞𝐚, the Phowa. So now I'm going to give you the actual, how to practice and how to visualize when you practice the Phowa. That's very much important. Generally, in order to practice any kind of the Tantra Yana, so one must receive the transmission and explanation and empowerment. The Tibetan we call that Wang Lung Ti. In order to practice anything, any deities in the very authentic way, the number one is that you have to receive the empowerment of that particular deity, and then secondly you have to receive the transmission of the text, and then that finally you have to receive the explanation about the Phowa. So these three things are very much important. So today I'm just kind of like briefing about the Phowa, how important it is. It's just like something like that when we it's kind of like similar to, I'm just giving information about the Phowa. Because when we see the products in the television, when they do advertisement, if you really want to buy the products, so you have to go through the proper channel to buy the products, you know. Similar to that way. So Phowa is actually one of the spiritual product, you know. So if you really wanted to seek for the practice of the Phowa, then of course you have to approach to your guru. If you have a root guru, then you can approach him you can approach him and to request to give the Phowa transmission and empowerment whatsoever. Because if you're very much interested to do the Phowa practice very nearby, very soon, or maybe today or tomorrow, then you can approach to your guru, you know. It is said in the text, if your guru live very far away from you, if there's no obstacle to go there for the journey, then you can go to meet guru. Even if your guru lives nearby you, if there is a kind of like lots of obstacles and dangers on the journey, then you should not go. So the guru always can bless you. There's doesn't matter whether guru lives nearby you or far away. Similar to that way nowadays, actually, since everywhere is a lockdown, we have no chances to travel here and there. There's no chances to travel to see your guru to seek for the Phowa transmission whatsoever. I'm sure in this stage, this case, so you can request your guru to give the transmission of the Phowa, so then you can stay at your home and you can receive. You can practice the Phowa. So that is the just I want to say, but it is very important to have this transmission, explanation, and empowerment. These three things are quite important if you want to do the very much authentic way of the practicing. Now, according to the Phowa Jaksukma, so that our Drikung 𝐾𝐾𝐚 tradition, that as I said, standing grass blade, that kind of like the Phowa practices is. So I just want to say how we have to practice. So we have to visualize our body as a Vajrayogini. So I'm sure all of you know the Vajrayogini. I have here with me the picture of Vajrayogini. If you didn't see the Vajrayogini, so this is the Vajrayogini, the deity. in red color. So you can visualize. So you cannot do the Phowa practice in a very ordinary way. You have to visualize in the state of the emptiness. So you have to manifest as a Vajrayogini. The Vajrayogini, the color is ruby color, and who has actually the true face, and then also 3 eyes, and then also Vajrayogini also has a female the form, so she has also the hair, and then also the Luzi, the hair in the behind, you can see as on the picture. And then also the Vajrayogini, they're wearing the crown ornament with the 5 dry skull. And then also right hand, so she rests up in the space, holding the copper flying knife. We call it Drikung. Tibetan we call it Drikung, similar to that knife, but it's flying knife, you know. So holding that one. And then also the Vajrayogini left hand, the skull cup, filled with the blood, with the heart level. And also the Vajrayogini is they're wearing the 50 freshly the severe heads that as an ornament. So this is actually the deity's kind of like ornament, as ordinary people used to wear the different kind of ornaments made out of gold and silver and diamonds and different kind of like jewels. Actually deities, they do wear the ornaments, but in a very different way. So there are actually different the significance, different meaning. But if I go explanation about the details, so that might took another time. So I'm not going to give it anyway. So Vajrayogini also wear like that. So that's just kind of like the brief how the Vajrayogini look like. But if you don't know the details of the Vajrayogini, you just visualize as a Vajrayogini in a very red color. So if you cannot visualize all the details, ornaments and etc. And then the inside of the Vajrayogini, so we have to visualize the center channel. Again, we call it Avadhuti, the center channel. In Sanskrit it's called Avadhuti. The central channel is look like that way. So you can see on that the inside of the body of the Vajrayogini. So, but because we have to visualize as a Vajrayogini, we have to forget about the body as like constructed with the bones and the flesh and things. We totally have to forget, and in the state of the emptiness, we have to rest up. We have to arise as a Vajrayogini form, and inside of the Vajrayogini, there's nothing else apart from the centered channel that you can see on the picture. So the centered channel is outside is look like the blue color. The inside is in the red color. So that's how the central channel is look like later on when you practice the actual practice. So there's more explanation is there. So then the central channel, the bottom is touched to our secret place, the female or male whatsoever. The below the 4 inches, like around 4 inches, below the navel chakra. So the center channel touched to there, and then the upper of the channel is touched to our crown chakra. So it is just like open, you know. So that this is the kind of like the picture of the central channel that I'm showing with you. So outside is the blue, inside is the red, And that also, the central channel also, the processes, the four characteristics, the four qualities, which is the central channel is the hollow. Inside is hollow. There's nothing is inside. As like the tube of paper, you know. So same is like that when we use a kind of like that the tube to when we need to drink some juice or cold drink whatsoever, we have to use this kind of the hollow the tube paper, you know. So similar to that way, the central channel inside is the hollow like a tube paper, and the inside is the red color like a rose, you know, the rose, the flower like a red. That's the quality of the central channel. And then the third one is that transparent inside and outside like a lamp, you know. There's no kind of like nothing is there. It's a kind of like hindrance is not there. Nothing is hidden by anything. So outside or inside is just like everything is like clear. It's like a lamp. It's kind of like transparent, you know. No outside, no inside. Something like transparent. That's the third characteristic. And the fourth one is the center channel is very straight as a reed, you know, very straight. So it's no bend. So these are actually the four kind of the quality of the four quality of the center the channel. And then central channel is the size is as like the medium size of arrow, you know, when we need to shoot the arrow size is not too thick and not too thin, kind of like the medium size of the arrow. And then the upper part of the central channel is it's attached to our crown, and then the lower the central channel is touched to our sacred place, and then the center part of the central channel, as you already have seen on the picture, that in the heart level is it's like, you know, the bamboo, you know, when we talk about the bamboo always have a kind of, there are some lines similar to that way. The heart level there is a kind of the four petals at the heart level. So there is a kind of like the joint, you know, there's a joint. Usually the bamboo used to have a kind of like joint similar to that way. Heart level of that central channel have a joint, and on that joint, so there is the four petals, which is in the red color, and top of that, the red petal, the lotus. So we have to visualize as a symbolic of our consciousness. Actually, there's no form of the consciousness, but just as like a kind of like symbolizing our consciousness as a size of, or like a size of pea, you know, the pea, size of pea, in a kind of like a red color, like a ball, you know, red colored ball as a size of pea. That is the kind of like the nature of our the consciousness. That is the symbolize of our the consciousness that we have to visualize, and that kind of like the bindu, which is like the symbolic of the consciousness, which is the pea size, is very fresh and very light. Is not very heavy, because that is a symbolize of our consciousness, which later on when we practice the actual the Phowa, we have to say the hic, you know. So when we say the hic, so that kind of like the red ball as a consciousness have to leap up to up till our crown chakra, So therefore it has to be very pea-sized, it's very fresh, it's very light, it's very vibrating, So it's like almost it's ready to jump, something like that. It's ready to jump, and then ready to lift, ready to its lift up. So that we have to visualize that we have to visualize, and then so top of our crown chakra. So we have to visualize the crown chakra is kind of like the open, is not closed, So there is the Buddha Amitabha sitting on our head. So as I mentioned earlier, there's two types of the Phowa. Before we die, so we have to practice the Phowa. At that time, Buddha Amitabha is sitting on our crown as we call like sitting position, like when we sit on the chair. So it like a sitting position similar to Buddha Maitreya. The future Buddha Maitreya also sitting position is like the sitting on the chair. Similar to that way, the Buddha Amitabha actually sitting as a here I have also picture. Yeah, Buddha Amitabha. Yeah, this is the Buddha Amitabha. How he sits. You see, he's not sitting like the cross leg. He's sitting as like the Buddha Maitreya. Sitting on as like on the chair, and then Buddha Amitabha, this toes was supposed to be close the crown chakra. It's like basically close the center channel, because our center channel is touched to the crown chakra. So therefore, the center channel has to be close by the toes of Buddha Amitabha, So this is when during our practices of the Phowa, it has to be close. At the time of the death, at the time of the dying, so when we are practicing the Phowa, so when we implement, if we really implement the Phowa in order to, when we came to know that there's a lot of signs, okay, now this is the time to die or whatsoever, so then that time, so we have to transfer our consciousness into the Buddha Amitabha, the Pure Land, and that time the Buddha Amitabha is sitting like cross-leg, like we call it like lotus sit, yeah, Vajra sit position, So he's sitting on the head like a cross-leg, not like the sitting as a like chair position. So that's very much important to keep in your mind. So, and then also Buddha Amitabha, and then surrounded by all the lineage, the gurus or the Buddhas and Bodhisattva and all the Phowa lineage guru, because there are hundreds of the Phowa lineage guru, because since the Phowa the lineage comes from Buddha Amitabha, and during the time of the Guru Premasambhava at 8th century, and now this is the 21st century. For over many hundreds and hundreds of years, there must be many gurus that the Phowa lineage, the passing through the guru to guru, So therefore we have to visualize all the guru surrounded by the Buddha Amitabha, because in order to receive the blessing, so we have to visualize like that way. And then the actual practice, so of course we have to follow as per the text how to actual the practice, but just briefly as an explanation, we have to visualize like Vajra Yogini, and then center channel and heart level. We have to visualize that at the joint, we have to visualize on the 4 petals there is a symbolize our consciousness in the red ball, like a size of pea, fresh, light, just ready to leap up, So that kind of we have to visualize. And then after that, then we have to make the supplication prayer to the lineage guru, Buddha Amitabha and the Buddha and Guru Premasambhava and all the lineage guru. We have to make the supplication prayers, Because in order to receive the blessing, the devotion is the key factor to receive the blessings. If there's no devotions, there's no way to receive blessings. So therefore, Lord Jigten Sumgon also he said that Guru is like a Kailash mountain, like an ice mountain. In order to melt the water from the glacier, from the ice mountain, and sun need to be rest. When the sun is rest, and when the sun is touched to the that Kailash mountain or like snow mountain, and then the water will be melt. So similar to that way. So in order to receive the blessings from the Guru is like a ice mountain or snow mountain, and our devotion is like a sun. So the Guru is also important as like snow mountain. Sun is also important as like our devotion. If there's no sun, there's no way to melt the water. Similar to that way, if there's no devotion, there's no way to receive, there's no way to melt the blessings of the Guru. So therefore, the devotion is very, very important. If you don't have devotion, there's no way to receive this Phowa blessing. So therefore, at the time of the Phowa, so if you can make all this visualization, that what I explained, what the text explained, that's very good. If you cannot, and then you just simply, you can just visualize you as a Vajrayogini, and then top of that you have to visualize Buddha Amitabha and all the lineage, the Guru, and just you extend your devotion to those lineage Guru. So that is also very much necessary if you don't know very much all other the visualizations, And then so after you complete the set of visualization, so then there is the prayer starts of the supplication to all the lineage Guru, and then after the complete the supplication prayers, then again you have to make the visualization as I mentioned earlier, and then you have to say hik, 7 times you have to say hik, 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 So that hik sound is like pulling up that at the heart level there, where is a joint, there's 4 petals, top of that there's a red balls, size of P as a symbol like of your consciousness. When you say hik, 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 then that the red ball is pulling up, lifting up, lifting up, and then when you say the 7, the last one, then it goes touch to the center, this crown, and then you can feel like, oh, that's a touch, because you already visualize here Buddha Amitabha, and Buddha Amitabha toe is blocking that your central channel, and then when you say the last one is little bit stronger, hik, and then you can feel like it's touch to the Buddha Amitabha's toe, and then after 7 times you do hik, and then you have to say ka. So when you say ka, then you have to pull down, you have to bring down that the red ball as a symbol of your consciousness back to the normal position where it is at the heart level, So when you are practicing the Phowa, that one, so you have to keep practicing that one for like at least 4 sessions a day. So therefore we usually the people, they do the Phowa retreat. So when they do Phowa retreat, and then 4 times a day they have to practice like that. And you can do the Phowa practice in a group, or you can do the Phowa practice in your alone. So that's totally up to you. So you have to do until you get some sign, The sign is that if you are very much, sometimes also when you do the Phowa, and if you get some sign that your body is maybe shaking, or maybe from your crown, it's kind of like the sort of like blisters, or maybe the blood is coming from your crown, or maybe if you get very much heavy headache or something like that, or the crown chakra become very soft until you can stand the grass blade on your crown. So that means that is you already kind of become a master about the Phowa practices, until you get this kind of like sign, then you have to keep practicing. If you didn't get the sign, so you have to keep practicing until you get the sign. And then once you get this kind of like the Phowa sign, and then maybe once in a while you can do practice, but then it already shows that clear you have done enough the Phowa practice, and then you are ready to do ready to implement the Phowa practice at the time of the death, So that's how the Phowa practice is like that way. So this is I'm talking about our own way of training the Phowa. And then sometimes also traditionally when someone is passing away in the family members, when pass away any our dearest one, any close friend or family, traditionally in our the Tibetan Buddhism, we always invited the lamas or Rinpoche whatsoever, and then we request them to make a Phowa, So actually the time to do the Phowa for the dead people is that when the people, because we call that there is a outer breath and inner breath, So that the part of how to dissolve our elements and whatsoever, I will try to explain the next days while I'm going to teach about the Pardo. That time I'm going to cover. This is more kind of inner details. So the best time to do the Phowa is that when the breath is stopped and inner breath is not completely stopped. In that between, so if we manage to do the Phowa for the dead people, that's the best time to do the Phowa. That's what he said, So if the master is very much the powerful master, is not necessarily the master have to be in front of the dead body. So the master, he or she can do from very far away, from far away can do the Phowa, and then they can get a sign here. After they complete the Phowa, usually they get some kind of like the blood or something from the nose of these dead people. So that's also some kind of sign, good sign of the Phowa. The Phowa was implemented for the dead people. Sometimes also after complete the Phowa for the dead people, so there's some blood coming from the crown, or the white blood and red blood coming from the nose. These are the kind of like the sign of the Phowa. This is I explained about the Phowa accordingly the Drikung 𝐾𝐞 tradition. Now I'm going to explain the little bit about the Phowa in the other tradition as like the 𝐷𝐢𝐴. So this is what I explained about according to the Drikung, the Phowa Jaksuma, that we have to visualize the Vajrayogini, all of these things as per the Drikung 𝐾𝐞 one. So in the 𝐷𝐢𝐴 tradition, so when we do the Phowa, the practices, so that first we have to block the 9 doors that as we mentioned. One important thing is that actually whenever someone is passing away, usually we better not to touch to the dead body until the Phowa ceremony was completed, because it said that if you touch to the body, so that the person, the consciousness might be, wherever you touch your hand to the dead body, the consciousness will be go away from that particular part that where you touch, If you really need to touch, then you try to touch to the upper side of the body, like head or somewhere. Better not to touch the lower part of the body. That's what the text mentioned, So because there are very much the chances to go away your consciousness from the other holes instead of the crown chakra. So your consciousness will go away from your body, from the other part of the body holes, lower holes, or maybe the eye or ear or something. So therefore, that also has to be very much be careful. And according to the Nyingmapa, the tradition of the Phowa, so the first very important thing is that you have to close the other doors of our body. That from your heart level, there's a letter. You have to visualize the letter Hung in a kind of like dark blue color. So from the letter Hung, the dark blue color, so radiates the light, another Hung, and which is goes to the other the holes, which we call it the lower holes, that the part of the excretion, and then also the part of the urinary tract. So the two Hung goes to the dead one, and that Hung is the block that holes. And then likewise another the Hung goes to all other the holes like eye and ear and mouth. All that also the doors must be closed by the other Hungs, that which is radiate from your the heart level the Hung. So in that is the very much the important that you have to visualize. And then in that, after you blocking all this, after you block that all the holes, then you have to visualize the top of your head, your guru, that your root guru, sitting there very smiley face and endowed with all the qualities of the manner and the measure marks. So this kind of the visualization you have to do before you dying. So as when you get the signs that now you are going to die, So there are some signs that before you die. So once you get these signs that you are going to die, and this kind of the visualization that you have to do it, And then you have to visualize your guru that your head, top of the head, and then there the eyes also looking up at the guru side, and the tongue is also touched to the upper plate, and then also you have to say 7 times. You have to say hik, because in the Drikung Kagyu, there's only 7 times that you are the red ball as a symbol of your consciousness touched to the crown level. But in this, the Nyingmapa tradition is slightly different. That when you say 7 times hik when you recite, and then that symbolize of your consciousness as we call it a bindu. It's we call it a bindu. Tibetan we call it the tigle. We call it like a drop also. We call it drop or bindu whatsoever. That is the kind of symbol of the consciousness. When you say the 7 times the hic, and that was also the pulling up from the below the level chakra. That was the pulling up from the central the channel, and then pulling up, and then when you 7 times, that is comes into the navel chakra, and then again when you say hic 7 times, and that the bindu, that bindu actually the symbolize of the consciousness comes into the heart level, and then again you have to say hic 7 times, and that bindu comes at the level of throat level. Then again you do the 7 times the hic. Again you have to do the 7 times hic, and then that consciousness is come up to the forehead level, and then again you have to say hic the 7 times, and then here at the crown level there is the letter hung, which is upside down, So you have to feel like that is the bindu was touched to the that letter hung, So this is the when you practice the Phowa in the other the tradition, So when you keep practicing like this way of the Phowa again, so if you feel some kind of like if this your crown chakra, this area is swollen, or maybe it's the blood or serum is coming out from this place, and if the blood is coming here, if you feel like very much itchy here, so that means SMS like that, whether you put like kusha grass, or sometimes also they put this the peacock feather, they put the peacock feather. If the peacock feather is also standing, or kusha grass is also standing, so that means you are quite successful that practicing of this the Phowa. So this is the kind of another way of the Phowa the practices, and there are also another the different way of the Phowa the practices, as I mentioned earlier, the Phowa in the state of Dharmakaya, the Phowa in the state of Sambhogakaya, the Phowa in the state of Nirmanakaya. So now these 3 things I'm going to explain, and then lastly I'm going to explain about the Phowa of Jalu. Jalu is like the rainbow body. The first, the Phowa is that we call that as a supreme, the transference of consciousness by realizing the nature of reality. Because we all have a kind of, we all have the Buddha nature. Is basically the Buddha nature is actually we call it like the ground level. We call that the clarity. Some they call it the clarity, some they call luminosity, whatever you call the luminosity of ground level, the luminosity of the path level, luminosity of the fruit level. So there's a 3 different way of the luminosity or this kind of the clear light. So as I mentioned earlier, so you have to visualize when you came to know that you are going to die. When you came to know that you are going to die, and as I mentioned earlier, so you have to visualize your guru here, and then also surrounded by all others, lineage guru, and then also your eye is looking at the guru side, and your tongue is also touching upper plate like this. All this kind of the body, the process are same as I mentioned earlier. And then at that time, if you are very much the familiar with the practice of the luminosity, the clear light, if you are very much familiar with the practice of the luminosity, at the time of the death, at the time of the death, you no need to transfer your consciousness to somewhere else. That your the guru's the consciousness and your own nature, the nature consciousness, that what you already exists within you, so that become a oneness. That's become a kind of like the inseparable. The Tibetan we call this the Osal Mabu Ngotoba. The Mabu Ngotoba means that the clear light is like encounter of mother and son, we call like that, or meeting of mother clear light and son clear light. You see, when we mix together the two water, so you cannot make distinction, oh, this is the water from this, comes from this is the water from this river and this is water from this river. When it's mixed together, although the water into ocean is become a same. So you cannot make a distinction. There's two water. Similar to that way. So we call it in the state of at the time of the death. So if you are very much the good practice in the clear light, so your the nature clear light, your nature clear light as like the it's that one, and then also your the guru's natural light is kind of meeting together is same as like when the mother meeting with the son, mother recognize son and son recognize the mother. That we call is that the meeting the mother clear light and meeting sun clear light together. So there's no differences. There's no differences in between. So in that stage, so you are at that moment you already you already kind of like the achieve enlightened mind in the state of the Dharmakaya. This is we call it the Dharmakaya Phowa. Dharmakaya, the transfer of the consciousness. That's the actually the best one. So for that, actually, we need to very much. We have to be very much kind of the master about the Phowa practices, so that at the time of the death, so you can do this one. So that's we call this the Dharmakaya Phowa. And then the second, the way of the Phowa is the Sambhogakaya, the transference of consciousness in the cold, the transference of consciousness in the body of enjoyment. The body of enjoyment means the body of Sambhogakaya. So that kind of the Sambhogakaya, the Phowa is very much depend on your idam practice. So sometimes some people they practice the idam as a chakra sambhava, some people practice the idam as a vajra yogini, some people their idam practice as a vajra kilaya. So whatsoever there are many different kind of idam. The Sambhogakaya, the Phowa, is very much depending on the idam practice. Whenever we do the tantric practice, so one is the generation stage and one is the completion stage. There's always need to be practiced through this way. So the Sambhogakaya, the Phowa, is then at the time of the death. So if you cannot recognize your clear light as meeting with the mother and son, and then there's no way to achieve the Buddhahood in the state of Dharmakaya, so then you go into the first pardo stage, we call this first pardo, and then after pardo there are actually different the classification within the pardo. So when you reach the first pardo, so that time, then again you have to visualize at your crown chakra. There is the seat, lotus seat, and top of that also the moon seat and sun seat. Top of that you have to visualize your guru in the form of Sambhogakaya. in the form of 𝐶𝐶 endowed with all the 𝐶𝐶 and the ornaments and whatsoever. It doesn't matter whether that can be 𝐴valokiteshvara, or that can be Tara, or that can be any kind of idam, that whatever you are practicing in the idam. And then whenever you do this 𝐶𝐶, the Phowa, so you have to visualize top of that your head, top of your crown chakra, your guru in the form of the 𝐶𝐶. And in that state, and then again you have to visualize the same as the central, the channel, and in the central channel, below the navel chakra, so there is the symbolize of your consciousness, white bindu, white drop. We call it the 𝐃𝐞𝐚𝐫, you know. 𝐃𝐞𝐚𝐫 means actually the drop, white. You have to visualize the white drop at below the 4 inches, below your navel chakra. Or there also is not necessarily, you not necessarily only think about the white bindu. You can visualize, symbolize your the consciousness. You can whatever you are convenient. You can visualize as a letter A in a white color, or you can visualize as the letter Hung in a dark blue color, or you can visualize letter Shi as like the red color. Whatever convenient for you. So because the different people, some people are very much convenient for this and that. So as per your convenient, so you can visualize in the different kind of these letters in the different color. Basically, this is the kind of your basic consciousness, you know. So that is whatever because since this 𝐶𝐶, the Phowa, you have to visualize your deity, because each deity have a different sit syllable. Like Tara have a letter Tam, and then also 𝐴valokiteshvara have a letter Shri, and then also letter Drum, letter Pam, letter each deity have a different kind of letter. But whatever you are visualizing your deity, so that deity is the sit syllable in a particular in color. You have to visualize at your below your navel chakra. Okay, and then you have to visualize to the idam, embodiment of your guru. And then also in the central channels, again SMS like that, you are looking at your guru from your eye, and your upper plate is also touching to the your tongue is touching to the upper plate. Is all this position is same as like before. And then the wind, which is the situated below the navel chakra, there's the wind chakra. So that is the pulling up, that the letter, which is the symbolize of your consciousness. And at the same time also you say letter, you have to say the sound of the hic, you know, with the help of wind chakra, it's pushing up. And with the help of the hic, that what you are saying by your mouth, hic, because of these two combinations, when you say hic, and then at that moment, and that the symbolize of your consciousness, it's directly goes to the this crown level, your crown chakra level. And at that moment, and then there is supposed to be the letter Hang, which is the close by your crown chakra, is open up, and that your consciousness is same as like the shooting arrow. You know, when you shoot the arrow, it goes directly. Similar to that way, your consciousness is directly as a shooting arrow. It goes directly to the idam. And that your consciousness and idam consciousness is become inseparable, and your consciousness is dissolved into the nature of the deity. So in that level, and then you also achieve enlightened mind in the form of Sambhogakaya. So if you are a success of this the Phowa practices, so each of the, like example, like earlier we talked about the Dharmakaya Phowa. If you are a success in practicing this Dharmakaya Phowa, so outer sign, inner sign, and secret sign. The outer sign is the sky become very clear. So that means you are success of, you see, because sometimes when the Guru, certain Lama will pass away, so sky become totally clear. There's no cloudy in the sky. So that means actually the sign is that the Guru is accomplished the Phowa in the form of like Dharmakaya, And then the inner sign, the inner sign is that even the person is the master or whatsoever, even the person is dead. So his or her body is remain as a very clear. Usually when our normal people, when they die, so the body easily gets sting, and the color is easily changed within maybe few hours or within the one day. The body colors will change, So if the person is already success to do this, the Phowa in the nature of Dharmakaya, so then his or her face will remain as a very shiny face, It's not going to be change the color. And then the secret sign is that there will be some kind of like letter A in the red color, letter Hung in dark green color. So all this kind of like different sign, the letters will be appear. So that means that is also sign of that outer inner secret. If your success is the practice of the Phowa, of the Dharmakaya. So if you are a success in practicing the Sambhogakaya, the Sambhogakaya, the Phowa in the state of first Pardo, so what you will get is that the outside of the sign is that in the sky, so there will be the rainbow will be appear, and then sky will be very much light, the full of light is there. So that means, this master is success in practicing the Phowa in the form of Sambhogakaya. Or maybe the inner sign of the Sambhogakaya, the Phowa, if he or she is success, and then, as I mentioned earlier, so there some blood or something will come out from the crown chakra, or maybe this crown chakra will become a little bit of kind of there will be some kind of like watery will come, the water, some kind of like the water will come out there, and this crown chakra will become swollen or something. So that means he or she is success of practicing this Sambhogakaya Phowa. And then also the secret sign is that there will come some relics, also even the when we do the cremations, the body on the bones of the body, so there will appear some deities, or there will appears the deities some like signs like Vajra, bell, whatsoever. So this is the kind of like the sign of success, the practicing the Sambhogakaya. Now the third, the Phowa, the practice is that in the Nirmakaya. The third transference of the consciousness is called the transference of consciousness with the body of manifestation. The manifestation in the Nirmanakaya. So the Tibetan we call is the Tulki Phowa, That one again actually same as like that. I mean, when we came to know that we are about to die, so then we have to visualize our Guru, it is also very important that we have to make as much as possible offering to your guru and whatsoever. So once we come to know that we are going to die, so usually we have to make offering and everything we have to, so that our mind cannot be attached to certain our belonging things. So therefore, traditionally most people, before going to die, they make clear all the belonging things. Either they give away to the beggars or they make offerings or whatsoever, so that their minds become there's nothing to attach to certain the places, So therefore, once you come to know that you are going to die, so that you have to make the offering, and then also you can display the statues, or you can make offering butter lamb and whatsoever. So you have to visualize like that way. And then also, if you cannot make offering because your body is too weak, and then you can make also offering from you can visualize that you are making lots of offering to all the gurus and Buddhas and Bodhisattvas like that, And then what you have to do is that same as like that, you have to visualize your guru in front of you, and then also from the central channels. So there is also in the central channels, and there is also same as like the below your navel chakra. So there is the kind of the triangle. There's also the triangle is there in the below of your the navel chakra. So there is the symbolize of your consciousness, the white bindu, the letter white color. So that is actually sitting there. And then again with the help of the wing chakra is the pulling up. And then also from you also have to say hik, as much as possible you can say hik. And then from that, when you say hik, 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 and that the white, the bindu, which is the symbolize of your consciousness, comes into your the left side of your nose. And then when it comes to there, and then immediately, so you have to simultaneously you have to visualize the guru is there at that time. So you have to transfer your consciousness as like shooting arrow immediately to the heart of the guru. So if you can go your consciousness to like that way in one time, it's good. If you cannot if you cannot transfer your consciousness at that one time, so then again you have to do 2 times, 3 times, 10 times, 20 times. You have to keep doing, and then until you manage to transfer the consciousness to the heart level of your guru. So this is actually the form of the Nirmanakaya. So your guru is actually also visualized in the form of Nirmanakaya. Nirmanakaya. So that is actually embodiment of your guru as Nirmanakaya. There's the differences. So in that cases, so that also usually the master also have the reincarnations that who manifest like manifestation of the body, manifestation of the speech, manifestation of the mind, manifestation of the quality, and manifestation of the activity. So there, for the many such a high lama, they do have a different kind of emanation. So this is actually happening at that time. So this is the kind of another the Phowa, the people who are dying gradually. So sometimes also we die. We don't have an opportunity to think like this way. So sometimes we just die by accidents whatsoever. So that time we keep trying to visualize your guru. We keep trying to visualize your idam. We keep trying to visualize as much as possible your guru and idam. So then try to transfer your consciousness at that time, because the earlier, as I mentioned, the Phowa of Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya, that was the people who are dying in the very gradually, in the step by step, who knows that we are dying, the dying process gradually, so that we can do it like that. So another the Phowa is that sometimes also the people are, we call it that the Phowa of jaluz. Jaluz means kind of like the rainbow body. People also, the dying, many of the Dzogchen master, so that who already have been practicing entire of their life, at the time of the death, their body become a rainbow body. So means there is no kind of, their body become like disappear as a light, or sometimes their body become a very shrink and become a very small, only remaining their hairs and some clothes or something. Other than that, everything is disappear. We call it like the rainbow body. So that means this is also kind of this is also is kind of like the Phowa of the rainbow body. So this is the only the person who are very much the highly the practices of the like the 4 level of emptiness. We call it like the emptiness and special emptiness and great emptiness and universal emptiness. The master who are very much familiar with this, the 4, the emptiness, and then person who are very much after, because of this, the 4 emptiness realizations, and then person who already achieved the 4 joys, such as we call that the joy, and then perfect joy, joy of cessation, and joy of co-emergent. So this is the 4 different kind of like the 4 different kinds of joy. The people who are already accomplished of all this kind of tradition, all this kind of the practices, that kind of the person at the time of the death, so their body can become as a rainbow body. And especially in the Nyingmapa, the Dzogchen traditional, they call it like texture and toggle. The texture means actually cutting through. So cutting through all the ego, cutting through all these kind of like obscurations and negative emotions, negative obscurations, and ego and everything. They're cutting through the practices of the emptiness. And then the toggle means direct crossing, without going here and there. The person who can cross directly, that we call it the direct crossing. So who are very much kind of like able to practice this kind of like the practices can achieve the rainbow body. So this is also we call it the one types of the Phowa. So without any remaining any body, so when the body become in a form of light. So that's also the Phowa of the rainbow body. So this much I would like to say regarding the Phowa. I hope you have a little bit, you gain a little bit information or a little understanding about the meaning of the Phowa. There's the differences. The Phowa, as per the Drikung tradition, as well as also the Nyingmapa, there's slightly the different the Phowa and also the Phowa of the jaluz. So this much I would like to say today, and then next days I'm going to teach about the Bardo teaching. Okay, thank you very much.